स्तुति मार्च 1989। पूरी हो गई है जिंदगी, अब अलविदा तो कह दे। एक सांस भी उधार की, अब जहर सी लगे मुझे। पूरी हो गई है जिंदगी, अब अलविदा तो कह दे। रस्में तेरे जहां की उल्टी लगे मुझे। मेरे रोने पे हंस दिए सभी, अब चुप हूं तो सब रो दिए। पूरी हो गई है जिंदगी, अब अलविदा तो कह दे। मुझको पता है बोझ कांधे पे बहुत है तेरे। बाहों में उठा ले मुझे, अपने हाथों से सुला दे। पूरी हो गई है जिंदगी, अब अलविदा तो कह दे। एहसान मैं तुम्हारा कैसे भुलाऊंगी। जिन हाथों से गई हूं मैं, उन्हीं हाथों में फिर आऊंगी। वादा करती हूं, उन्हीं हाथों में फिर आऊंगी। पूरी हो गई है जिंदगी, अब अलविदा तो कह दे। Nanu wrote this parchi sometime in March 1989, immediately after an unfortunate incident shook up the entire family. Nanu had lost his first grandchild. He remained shaken thereafter for quite a long time. But while the others could express their grief in tears, Nanu couldn't really break down as much as he would have wanted to. After all, he was the man of the house, wasn't he? Even after the rest of the family began to return to normal life, Nanu was seemingly lost in the labyrinths of unexpressed grief.
Stuti, the name Nanu had thought of for his first grandchild. Somehow he knew deep within that it will be a girl child, and how true his hunch proved to be. But then Stuti came and then went away on the same day back to her maker.
It all began when Nanu's second daughter, Charul, went into early labor. The doctor had already warned them of giving complete rest to the mother to be, as hers was a complicated case. Everyone in the family panicked. But somehow, some balance had to be maintained. As Nanu's eldest daughter, my mom, was expecting her first child in the next few weeks. Charul Masi was taken to the hospital with fingers crossed. The doctor came out from the labor room with the most dreaded news. Stuti had taken birth, but wouldn't survive for more than a couple of hours. And that was one promise Stuti kept loyally. She gave up on life in a few hours. It needs no saying that the family was totally distraught.
Nanu had become so numb with shock that he just stood by like a mute spectator as the other family members rushed around to inform the relatives and make arrangements for the funeral. Nanu just mechanically supervised the goings on. His only recollection of that day, a day that was to change him forever, was when he held the lifeless body of Stuti in his hands. Nanu couldn't bring himself to bury her, couldn't bring himself to lay her at rest.
All his life, Nanu had almost been an atheist. He had believed in his own hard work and truthfulness. But on this particular day, he willingly folded his hands and prayed desperately to God. God, please bring back Stuti. Please bring back Stuti from the jaws of death. Perhaps, like most of us, Nanu too was hoping for a miracle. But didn't we know? These things don't happen. It was now time to lay Stuti's little body to rest. Nanu found that putting her down for her burial was was as difficult as climbing Mount Everest. He held her close to him, close to his fast beating heart. Not sure if he was actually alive and going through all of this. It was then that Nanu heard Stuti say to him, "Don't cry. I promise I will come back to you. Just let me go now. I promise I will come back to you." Nanu looked down at her for one last time and finally laid her to rest. He bent down and whispered in Stuti's ears, "I will wait for you, my God girl. I will wait for you." However, Nanu could not really digest Stuti's death. He also kept on thinking about Stuti's promise to come back. Was it his imagination? Was he hallucinating? Had grief taken over his mind and heart completely? Would he actually live to see his godchild come back to him? Just too many thoughts clouded his mind. One day, as Nanu was walking towards his shop, he stared into the vast blue sky. The huge sky, streaked with its billion rays of sunshine, brought home the fact that his ray of sunshine was missing. Oh no, it had been stolen from him forever. Nanu had to offload his grief somehow. But how? Suddenly, across the road, he saw a newspaper stand. He bought a newspaper and sat down on the newspaper vendor's empty stool. Sitting right there in the middle of a bustling Mumbai street, at a newspaper stand, Nanu poured his heart out by scribbling his thoughts on the edge of a daily newspaper. He wrote about Stuti. He wrote for her. He reminded her of her promise to come back. Nanu must have written for a really long time, sitting there on the busy street. He then tore the edges of the newspaper, made a parchi out of it, and kept it in his shirt pocket, close to his heart. And that's where Stuti stayed till Nanu's last breath.